Well, thanks for joining us here on KREM 2. I'm Jenny Power, and it's time to get a real extended look at today's weather impact alert and what we are going to be faced with, where the main concern today is elevated fire danger, as an incoming system is going to be shaking up our weather pattern, ushering in some instability, where the main threat is going to be some dry thunderstorms that could produce lightning and very strong outflow winds, unfortunately leading to the potential that new fires could start. So this is what I'm breaking down overall in this extended forecast. This is a look at some of the red flag warnings that for right now are in place starting at 11 a.m. and lasting until 11 p.m. And this is including parts of North Spokane County as well as across the North Idaho Panhandle. So we need to be extra fire aware, especially when we are dealing with these weather conditions that Mother Nature is ushering in. What's happening weather-wise is we have this upper level trough that dips down into the inland northwest, ushering in some of that instability, the chances of thunderstorms, and along with that, some elevated winds. So as we take a look at our convective outlook for the day today, for all these areas shaded in green, we're talking about a 10 to 30% chance of seeing some of this thunderstorm activity. We also see that into tomorrow as well. You can see the mapping is a little bit different, but Spokane still included in that, as well as out and over toward the Cascades, because these thunderstorm chances, even though the red flag warnings end at 11 p.m., the chances of thunderstorms lingers into early tomorrow morning. So when it comes to some of the timing of this, we're really going to be breaking this down step by step. It is going to be a mostly dry day, especially toward parts of Yakima, Richland, the LC Valley. We'll start to see some increasing clouds across parts of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but these storms start to fire up and some of this activity on our future tracker by late morning and into the afternoon. First over toward Omak, up near the Canadian border in northeast Washington. Continuing to fast forward, this puts our modeling at about 7 p.m. where the system starts to dip down across parts of Wenatchee, the Waterville Plateau, over into, again, northeast Washington, tracking further east in the overnight hours. And the edge of this system kind of skirts through the top of Spokane County, mostly remaining north, or along, or I should say north of the I-90 corridor for the very early morning hours of our Thursday before it does fill in through parts of the North Idaho Panhandle by tomorrow morning. If you are an early morning commuter, right now we are seeing a few pop-up cells around the Coeur d'Alene area by about 5:45 to 6 a.m. on Thursday. Otherwise, then, we see drier conditions across eastern Washington and North Idaho, but still going to be watching for some instability and thunderstorm activity across the Cascades through Thursday evening and Thursday night. So it's true that we could see some precipitation out of this system. However, the amounts aren't too impressive. We could maybe get up to 1/10 of an inch of some rainfall. I'll reverse here across parts of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. The greatest chances of some of that rainfall, though, and precipitation will be up in the mountains of northeast Washington, North Idaho, as well as the northern Cascades. So we'll watch out for that, but the biggest threat out of this system does have to do with the lightning and gusty winds. Another thing to note is with the higher rain totals expected along the eastern slopes of the Cascades, debris flows are going to be possible that direction, especially in very steep terrain or in recently burn-scarred areas. Now let's get into some of these winds, because this is the other element that, along with this system here, ushers in that risk of fire danger. So at first we're seeing these winds dropping down from the north, strong up toward parts of Omak and the Okanagan Valley. What is coming together here is this almost line of wind gusts that moves across parts of the region here from about 7 to 9 p.m. And this is an area of concern because it's in conjunction with the arrival of that disturbance or that incoming system here. So we're seeing gusts, erratic gusts possible within those cells up to 40 miles per hour. But then we almost have this wall of elevated winds that could fire up some extended fire danger for existing fires because of those elevated winds. Winds do die down in the overnight and into tomorrow, but that's going to be something we watch very closely. Again, some of the strongest winds for Spokane expected between those hours of 7 and 9 p.m. Air quality continues to be a concern. We are sitting, though, at last check in the moderate range for Coeur d'Alene. We've been back and forth between moderate and unhealthy for some through parts of Spokane County, but it is still unhealthy for all of the areas shaded in red, including Chewelah, Omak, and part of Wilbur. Air quality alerts remain in place for all of these counties that are shaded in gray. Temperatures this afternoon, we're reaching the mid-80s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We do have a few spots looking at some low 90s. That includes the LC Valley, Richland, and the lower Columbia Basin, with some mid-70s for Bonners Ferry and Republic. Now, these temperatures are pretty on par with our average for this time of year. And the other thing to note is that so far we have not had any measurable rain out at the Spokane International Airport, and August is one of our driest months out of the year. So as we continue to take a look at conditions for the day today, we remain under that weather impact alert because of the risk of fire danger associated with those thunderstorms. Spokane, again, has about a 22% chance of seeing that thunderstorm activity. Chances are going to be a little bit higher up near the Canadian border in northeast Washington and the Idaho Panhandle. Otherwise, as we take an extended look at your forecast, we are preparing to see mostly dry conditions, temperatures right around our average here through our extended forecast as well, and we're looking at partly cloudy skies if you're thinking of any weekend plans. But with the chances of those thunderstorms rolling through today, tonight, and the very early morning hours of tomorrow, a really helpful tool is our live local radar, which you can download and have on your phone that access completely for free. It's within the KREM 2 app, but then you can really watch as some of those thunderstorms are developing or moving into your neighborhood. So highly recommend download it. Again, free on the KREM 2 app. You can get it on your TV or your phone.